Yeah, he had some hamstring soreness late in the game last week. We brought him off the ground actually. There's a little bit of fluid there on scan, not much, but enough for myself and our medical people to say we're not going to risk him. So we took the same approach with the soft tissue boys last week, and we want to take the same approach with him. Last time he had COVID, he did his hammy the week after when he came back. So we just don't want to take any risk with him. So
it's such a shame, but though it's like he's up there with the most potentially improved player on his side.
Yeah, he's had a great year, and it is a pity, but that's footy. There's injured players every week. You just got to, pick the next bloke and move on.
It must be maybe not a relief isn't the right word, but it must be good to bring back almost 1,000 games of experience and guys like Rich and Zorko and Berry and Adams, to come back into the side.
There's 1,000 games, is it?
It's 857.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah, it is. It's good, but they've got a responsibility to play well too when they come back into the team. Some guys last week played particularly well against the Giants, and they've lost their spots as a result of that. But that's what you need if you want to be a successful team. You've got to have people that come in and play roles when others are out. So that'll be the expectation on them tomorrow night to come in and play their roles.
You guys have had a great sort of record against the Suns in the recent games between them. Do you believe that gives you any kind of mental lift? Do you believe in that sort of thing, or do you think it's a different contest?
I don't. I just think every contest's a different contest. They're at a time in their history where they're having their best season ever. And they need to win tomorrow to try and keep their finals hopes alive, and we need to win to try and make sure we finish in finals and finish as high as we can. So there's a lot at stake. It's a different contest altogether to the previous ones, and in my view, every game's different. So we spend no time sitting around talking about our record against the Gold Coast Suns. All that matters is the here and now. No, it was a good game, and in general play and the way that it was played, it was a much closer game than the scoreboard indicated. There's no doubt about that.
And they got you, they were in your face, they were their best, a lot of the contested stuff.
Yeah, they're strong in that area, and so are we. So that's going to be critical to tomorrow night's game.
You talk about them having their best season, like as a club this year, and I just want to take you back at the start of the season. We spoke. I remember asking Tim Miller. They did a joint press conference here, Dave Zorko, and I said, "Do you feel like where they are as a club too is kind of like you're about 4 years behind maybe where the Brisbane Lions are? And can you have a look at what the Brisbane Lions have done and kind of follow that progression? And do you feel like you're seeing a little bit? I know that you want to focus on yourselves as a club, but do you feel like when you look at the Suns space, you can see a little bit of the way they've grown as a club in what you've done here at the Lions?
Yeah, it's hard to say because I'm not there. I don't know how they've gone about it, but they're definitely growing. Whatever Stewie's doing down there and the rest of the people around him, there's been great improvement this year. So they should be really proud of what they've done. But whether it's the same as what we've done, I wouldn't have a clue. I don't know. I'm not there. I'm not inside the four walls. But credit to them.
It's not about blueprint, like what you have established here. Like you'd be pretty silly as other clubs to not look at what you guys have done.
Yeah, although they don't know how we've done it, It's not easy to tell how these things are done because they don't live inside the four walls every day, and that's the thing. That's why I can't really comment on how they've gone about it because I don't know how they've done it. So there's all different ways to do it. It's about getting talent into the club, but it's about building a culture as well.
In some ways, Fagan, do you feel like this is a little fresh start now that you've got almost everyone available after your rocky past couple of weeks with availability?
Yeah, it's a good one. I haven't sort of thought about it that way. We certainly did a little bit of goal setting this week around the team and what we're looking to do in the next few weeks. So maybe it is with all those guys coming back in, but I'm not that confident anymore, Michael. I didn't know we were going to make 9 changes the other week, and we had to. So with COVID around, you just don't know what's around the corner. So you just got to make the most of when you've got all your players available, play as well as you can is the way I see it.
We haven't seen too many other teams near the top of the ladder be hitting as hard as you guys. We've seen a couple of other teams affected, but do you think that'll make the side even more resilient? Everyone's been through it over the last 2 years, but nobody else
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, all these experiences do build resilience, and they're never bad for you. Although at the time it feels pretty ordinary when that happens. But you know, created opportunities for other people to play and stand up and do things. It showed that our depth's not too bad. Given the form that Essendon's been in, they've been going pretty well. So there's always positives from those situations. I just hope for the rest of to be honest, it sounds funny, you'd think I'd hope everybody else cops it, but I don't. I hope that's not what happens, because the competition doesn't need that.
You said on the weekend that you brought in Reece because of big body to challenge the Giants in the midfield. For the last couple of weeks, you talked about the midfield mix and not having sort of a spot there for Reece. What have you had to change to maybe include him in the side because of his form on the weekend, and God obviously wanted to keep him? What have you had to change about Fagan?
Oh well, it just means you've got, you know, someone misses out that's been playing that particular role, and you know, we shuffled a few other things around with our half forward spots and our wings and our other on ball spots. So it's a little bit difficult to explain it to you succinctly. Yeah, but that's sort of how it gets done.
But I guess you were sort of reticent to do that in the last couple of weeks, but I guess it's a sign of how well he played in that first game. You had to find a spot for him.
Yeah. Oh, look, he played well, and as I said post that game, you know, teams have been tagging Lockie Neal, who's a good stoppage player, and Reece Matheson's a good stoppage player. So I just figured if they're going to tag Lockie, well, we'll bring Reece in. So hopefully that negates that sort of thinking from the opposition.
You guys have to keep winning to make the top four.
Yeah.
But
Well, we haven't made finals yet either.
yeah, well, good.
Yeah.
But I guess there is so much at stake tonight. The fans, it's really good for Queensland. I feel like it's healthy and it adds
Oh, it is.
rivalry tomorrow night. Do you guys feel that it's so important for the fans to have that tomorrow night when they turn up?
It's not only important for the fans; it's important for AFL football in Queensland, and you know, those participation rates that have been going up and up and up, continuing to do so. So it's great for the code, and it's what all states want. I mean, you know, Adelaide's always better when the Crows and Port are going well, and same over in Perth. So it's no different here. So yeah, it is a big clash tomorrow night. Hopefully, all the fans get here to support us. I'm not particularly worried about how many Gold Coast fans turn up, but as many Brisbane Lions as possible would be a great result.
You said before about set some goals this week for the next few weeks. Apart from winning games, sort of what other?
Oh, well, they're internal. I don't share them. I'm sorry. I mean, I understand you asking that question, but whatever we talk about amongst the playing group stays amongst the playing group. That's how we roll. Sorry about that. Yep.
Is that something you've done in past seasons, though? So like predecessor goals?
There's always, I think, moments in years where it's the appropriate time to do it. It's not a regular routine thing that, oh, right, oh, it's week such and such, we're going to do that now. It's just a bit of a feel thing around where the group's at. It tends to raise awareness and it tends to raise energy levels. So that's what we're looking to do as we get through these winter months and move towards the pointy end.
We lost over the last 2 months. It's time to make a statement.
Well, that's just the way it goes, mate. Like, we've got to string wins together, obviously. We're probably a tad unlucky that we haven't strung the last three together, I'd be fair to say. So that comment, whilst it's accurate, is not completely the way we think about how we're going. So we feel like we're on the right track, and we definitely want to keep building, and obviously wins is something that's really important at this time of year.
Do you feel then, what sounds that Bulldogs match was turning no cope, was a speed bump?
Yeah, I felt the Bulldogs game was as good as we'd played in a while. So it was a little bit disappointing to have the disruption that we had the following week, but I felt like we got back on track last week. But we've got to prove that we did by performing really strongly tomorrow night.
So you feel that certain commentators and experts around the league this week are saying that we lost because we lost. The fact that you aren't able to sort of put it together these last couple of weeks essentially makes you non-premiership contenders.
Yeah.
You don't believe that.
I don't really care what they say, to be honest. I don't care. It's got nothing to do with what's going on here within the four walls. And if you look at every team throughout, I mean, Melbourne's going through the same thing. Melbourne Footy Club, it happens. All my years at Hawthorn, there was always a patch in the year where it got a little bit shaky, where you might have lost a couple in a row or win-loss. I think there was a year there at Hawthorn, maybe 2008, where we might have only won 4 out of 8 in the middle of the year. It's just the season. You need to all understand that. It's very, very hard to stay up and win every week. But you got to, how you cope with your losses and how you cope with your slumps and how quickly you come out of them is the critical thing.
This 100 games for Carl. He was out of the team for a couple of weeks. What did he have to do to get back in, and what's he brought to the club in his time out?
Yeah, I just had to play well and play with energy in the twos. His form dropped away a little bit. He did that. He went back to the reserves for a couple of weeks, played particularly well, and really showed us last week in the way that he played that he's back to some of his really good form. It's a great effort by him to play 100 games. It hasn't always been easy for Cal. He's had some injuries and things across the years, and but he's got there, and we celebrated that this morning at our team meeting. Hey? We've got a pretty good weather record in the wet weather, I think. Not that we play in it all that often. Yeah. No, we do. Yeah. We've got big-bodied, strong players who put their head over the footy.